we got to get into this positive stuff of Liberty Swap. So Liberty Swap, Liberty Finance, I don't know what their official name is. I think it's Liberty Swap, but they are a very interesting case because, it's really interesting. We had not even heard of Liberty Swap until I think Richard actually tweeted about them out of the blue a few months ago. And, we know about like some of these different onboarding mechanisms, stuff like that, but people were not really familiar with Liberty Swap. And he started to post about them and we're like, oh, okay, what's this one all about? And the next thing you know, they start to take the world by storm here, seemingly, and are everybody's new favorite Twitter follow. They gave me a follow back when I posted that we were going to be talking about them tonight. And they are just making updates every day and making more and more easy, cheap, seemingly ways to get into PulseChain, which is awesome. I think they're kind of, I haven't heard tons of people who have like used them necessarily yet. And when I was looking for like, Liberty Swap tutorial or whatever on YouTube earlier, I wasn't really finding any. So maybe we're on the precipice of that really starting to happen. But it really feels like all of these inroads, as we indicated on the title of this stream tonight, are really being created primarily through Liberty Swap. And we're just kind of going to go through like some of their recent posts. But before we even do, Ewok, what do you kind of surmise, I guess, with the fact that Richard kind of posted about them out of the blue, and then we started to see all of this stuff?
Yeah.
Is there any knowledge that you think he had prior? However, what do you think? I'm just curious because this stuff kind of came out of nowhere for us.
Yeah, it kind of took us all by surprise. He did post about them very, very early, which means for him to not honor somebody, but to support them from the beginning before they really became popular means he probably knew about them, what they were doing. Not to mention they're a bridge, right? They're a multi-chain bridge, almost competing with the bridge that they made for PulseChain. So he obviously knows about them, maybe knows who's behind it, maybe he's a partner somehow, silent partner, giving them advice, doing whatever. But I like the fact that you can now bridge in from many different chains. I just saw today that they upped the limit from $5,000 limit to $10,000 limit, which is, and unlimited transactions. So not only can you do $10,000 per send, you can do unlimited transactions as well, which is huge. There aren't many places like Change Now or things like that where you can bring money in for, I think they cap it at $1,000 or $2,000. So just the amount more of a limit that they have and unlimited transactions is pretty big because, as we all know, there are going to be some bigger investors that say, yeah, it's a pain in the ass. I can't move money over there easily. But, if their limit keeps rising, who knows what they'll make it. So exciting, very exciting. Good to see that Richard supports them. Again, he wouldn't do that without some prior knowledge to what they were doing, making sure that it's pretty battle tested. The last thing he wants is for people to lose their money. So it does feel like he's got a sense of who's doing it and who's behind it. So that's a positive, very reassuring thing.
And the thing that's awesome is they're so versatile. Like you said, it's a bridge, it's a swap function. It's multi-chain that they're working on. I mean, it's everything that you could want. And a good comment from Beyond All here, saying that, like, if we're not going to have cooperation or anything from exchanges, or I should say even the opposite, if we're not going to cooperate with exchanges, which is fine because of some of the things that they request and require and the fact that they are centralized and everything, why not have something like Liberty Swap like this set up? And just to look at some of their recent posts here, I mean, we're just kind of going to go through some of their relevant posts recently about the updates that they've been doing. This one right here says, we're excited to announce that we've successfully expanded support for direct swaps from USDC on ETH to all supported PulseChain assets. Now, out of everything they've done recently, this is kind of, this is nothing compared to some of the stuff they've done, because they already had USDC from Ethereum. You could just swap into USDC on Pulse. So, I mean, that's a pretty simple thing to do. And then you just go ahead and DCA into whatever you want to. But now they've done it to eliminate a step if you want to just do USDC from ETH directly into, and I like what they mention here, Pulse, PulseX, Hex, Inc., PDAI, PWBTC, USDL, and CST, so the two other stable coins. So they said, we'll be closely monitoring these new routes to ensure everything runs smoothly. Enjoy bridging to PulseChain. So just another way. And then they even put a screenshot of 5,000 USDC for 183,000 Pulse. Actually, I thought it was PDAI, so my bad. I was projecting there.
I think that 5,000 is a
very cool update here.
Sorry.
Should be. Yeah, my bad. Yeah. You're right. It would be. Just didn't see the end of it. So bring up any of the other ones I sent you, because they have like some other roadmaps that they've been talking about, as well as a list of all the avenues it looks like you'll be able to get into PulseChain from.
Any particular one that you want to see?
I mean, just do whatever one you get to next. So we'll just go over all of them, because I think everything I sent you, I felt were like maybe worthwhile things. Yeah, here we go. This was kind of their little roadmap that they posted earlier this week. So from Liberty Swap earlier this week, the more routes we integrate, the more blockchains and layers we support, the more dApps we connect with, the more transaction volume flows through, the more private our protocol becomes. It becomes harder for wallet trackers to violate your financial privacy rights. Market makers love us, traders love us, ordinary people love us too. And we're still only at phase 1, not phase 2 yet. Privacy is normal. Privacy, another huge thing we've been talking about for this chain that Richard obviously values a ton. They have the 2 development phases here. Phase 1 focuses on cross-chain swap and send functionalities between PulseChain and other blockchains. Phase 2 would be planned to integrate additional privacy routes and services, enhancing the platform's privacy features. Then they say down there, 40 plus blockchains and layers will come to PulseChain, which is, I mean, crazy to think of. I mean, I don't even know that I could name 40.
I know I can't.
What would you make of some of the privacy stuff? Like, are they meaning privacy just in the fact that they're, the risk is spread? I mean, that's not really privacy, but the risk at least is spread through all these different things. What do you think they could be pointing to here with some of the privacy stuff?
A lot of zero knowledge stuff, a lot of like tornado type deals, railgun things. I think things like that, where they go into pools before they go to another wallet address, as long as it's, all done by smart contract and there's no risk. That's one of the big problems with a bridge, is there's always a sequencer somewhere involved that has to approve the transaction. And it's very hard. It becomes a very large attack surface that holds a lot of funds, basically, before it crosses over. It essentially bridges from one to the other. So the attack surface is very critical that you get it right. But who knows what they have planned as far as the whether it's ZK is zero knowledge, which essentially means it's privacy. There's no known address or whatever that it comes from one goes to another without being able to tie the two together. So there's ZK roll-ups, there's ZK there's several ZK things that are in development, and we'll see how they tie them in. But I think one of the easier type things to do would be to almost pool the assets, right? And then come out the other side as not a single transaction. So essentially it makes different ones. It mixes the coins. It does that type of thing where you can do it a little bit more anonymously. I think that would be fantastic for coming in and out of the chain, because once you're in and out, you could go out, come back in with the same funds, and nobody would know, essentially. So, there's a lot of benefits there.
Yeah. I totally agree. I think it's amazing that they're doing this. I think I sent you 2 more posts that had some decent stuff. I know one gave an indication of another, amount of things that are to come here. So,
yeah, there's this one.
So they say buying PulseChain assets with Liberty Swap Fi is the easiest and safest way for users. Why? If you try to buy directly on PulseChain, and this is an interesting point, you might run into failed transactions, RPC errors, dApps not connecting properly, or even security risks. But when you place your order through us, we handle everything. If a transaction fails, we automatically retry until it succeeds. Some orders today needed 3 entries to go through, and we cover the gas fees. So I had not realized that. I mean, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
If that's how it is working. And we should say I haven't used this yet, and I know you haven't either, Ewok. We saw a comment from Duke of Booze in the chat that says that he's used it a number of times, and it's been awesome. And just doing a couple dry runs, looking at it on their site, it seems extremely straightforward. I mean, it seems very easy to use. The fee is not hidden, which I appreciate. I mean, a lot of things have in many different ways of hiding their fee that you never even know that they gouged you. But this is just pretty much shown easily right up front on their site. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I like the fact that they've been very, very open about a lot of things too. So, transparency is definitely key.
Where is there was one I sent where they show a shot of blockchains that they're adding. I don't know where that one was. They had a list of all this stuff.
That's next after this one. That's next after this one. So this is the one. You want me to go to that one?
I was going to say, yeah, it might make sense to go to this one last, and I don't even know how important this one really is, I guess, but I sent it anyway. But yeah, the list of, here we go. So they said, if you take a look at our Connect Wallet option, you'll see what we're preparing for. All roads lead to PulseChain. It's inevitable. Internet. So here's their wallet types: Internet Money Wallet, Pulse Wallet, MetaMask, Wallet Connect, Coinbase Wallet, Brave Wallet, Rabby, which I think we all pretty much ditched, Phantom Wallet, which is mainly a Solana one, and Kepler, whatever Backpack is. I don't know what they are, but I mean, the fact that they're somehow adding support for all those is nothing but good. I mean, the point is, the people have these wallets if they're not in this ecosystem now. And how many, that pop-up right there, how many sites do you go to or dApps where you open to connect a wallet and they have more than even 4 options, maybe 5 options or something like that?
Yeah, not many.
So, yeah. So that looks awesome. We have all that. And then if you want, we can go to the Trustpilot review thing. I don't know how important that is, but just cool that people are getting out there and supporting. We're truly overwhelmed beyond anything we could have imagined. We just claimed the profile and honestly didn't expect things to move so quickly. So yeah, basically they got 56 reviews already, 4.8 on Trustpilot, and people loving Liberty Swap. So I don't know. It's just insane to me that this thing again kind of seemingly comes out of nowhere, and it seems like the perfect way to get into PulseChain, quickest, easiest. Richard always talks about idiot-proof stuff, getting the average person to understand this stuff, having to speak their language. You and I have had arguments before about the average layman, did they know what fiat even means? Stuff like that. So, yeah,
here's
I think it's really important to have a very simple way to do this.
Here's a nice little thing for you PDI lovers here. They do talk about it. So if you want to read that.
I saw that. The impact of PDI's marketing is truly impressive. Over the past 2 days, our protocol has processed a noticeable number of PDI purchase orders, and that's an objective observation. It shows that with the right approach, projects can also reach new buyers through similar efforts. So, yeah, really cool. Doesn't seem to be a lot of discrimination or anything like that, and whatever people want to buy, they can buy. So, very cool. I think it's one of the most bullish things to come, as far as onboarding or ways to get into the ecosystem that we've seen since Coast, really, which, so awesome. Do you have any other thoughts about Liberty Swap?
No, I love what they're doing. They didn't follow me back. I don't know why, but
I tagged them. I did tag them.
I know you did.
Yeah.
I'm just messing. I don't care about follows. But no, I did let them know that I appreciate what they're doing. They've kind of come out of nowhere. Their marketing has been on point. They've been everywhere I look. So, they're definitely doing something right for sure.
Yes. Yeah, I think so too. So awesome to see. So shout out the guys at Liberty Swap. We appreciate you for sure. If you are watching this clip maybe later on, go ahead and check them out. You can go to their Twitter. The link to the DApp is right in there, and you can play around with Liberty Swap. So awesome stuff for sure. And good name, I think, as well. So
yeah, for sure.